Hi everyone, it's Miss Billingsley. Today I wanted to make hopefully a short video showing you how to calculate distances on your Google map that we've pulled into Desmo. So as you can see here, I've finished entering all of my coordinate points on the left hand side. I have those labeled nice and neat for me. So now what I'm going to do is export this image. So clicking on that top right share button, you'll have an option that says export. Now that option isn't available on the iPad, but what I've done is go ahead and insert that image over here into Notability so that I can make those marks and calculations. So as you can see, those coordinate points are labeled. And now what we're going to do is calculate the distances. Now, I know you know how to use the distance formula, which I'll go ahead and rewrite here. We have our big square root, and underneath that is the x's subtracted, and then squared, and then we add the y's subtracted, and squared. And again, remember the order is not necessarily important here because that square makes it all the same. Okay, so we can choose any of our 2 points. For today's demo, I'm going to use my new location over here at -67, -11, and then I'm going to find the distance to Rogers High School right here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and plug those into my distance formula. I know you guys know how to do this, but I'll show you the trick to it in the next step. So we're taking those, and I'm going to speed through this. Okay, so the distance between these 2 points, if we just go from point to point on my grid map. Now here's where things get a little bit tricky. This isn't the number of miles because what we've done is actually scale this down. This is just the number of units, and this is about 88.323. Either one of these will do, and this is just the number of units on our coordinate grid from Desmo. So now what we need to do is consider the scale factor. So as you can see here on our map, we're given the scale factor, and so you may have to go back to Google Maps and find your scale factor, but I've pulled this in here. And what we can see is that about every 2 boxes on my coordinate grid is 2,000 feet, which means that 1 box would be 1,000 feet. Okay, but notice that 1 box is not 1 unit on my map. So if I look at my x-axis and my y-axis, I notice that 1 box is actually 5 units. Okay, because we have 5, 10, 15, 20. So I know that 5 units on my map equals 1,000 feet, but I want to know how much 1 unit is. So here I'm going to divide by 5 so that I can get 1 unit and figure out what my actual scale factor is. So over here, divide by 5 as well, and we get that 1 unit on my map is 200 feet in real life. Okay, so 1 little box here represents 200 feet in real life. So what I can do is now take this number, my 88.323, or my square root number, either way, and go ahead and multiply that by my 200. Now yours might be a little bit different. Yours might also be 200. Either way, we want it to be as accurate as possible. And notice that I did approximate because this is not entirely or exactly 2 boxes, but it is pretty darn close, so I'm going to be okay with it. So now I'm going to take that number and multiply by 200 so that we can get our units into feet. Okay, and when I do so, I get 17,664 let's just say 65 feet. So this is the distance in feet between my 2 points. Typically when we look at a map, we're talking about miles. So if I want to go ahead and convert to miles, what I need to do is divide by how many feet there are in a mile, and that is 5,280. Okay, and if I divide that by 5,280, I get that this is about 3.35 miles. Okay, so the distance between these 2 points is about 3.35 miles. And I can use that in my proposal. I can say that the nearest school to my new school is 3.35 miles away, which is a good enough distance, blah, blah, blah. You can go on and say whatever you would like to say about it. But you're just going to repeat this process until you have all the measurements that you need to know for your project. Now, you can also use this to help you find area and perimeter. What you may want to do is look at your location and give it some endpoints. Okay, so I could find the 4 endpoints here, and then use that distance formula to find the length all the way around my piece of land. Obviously, I'm approximating, but you can make those exact points on your grid, find the area and perimeter of those if that is necessary for your proposal. So hopefully this gives you a little insight on how to find those calculations and turn them into usable measurements such as miles. So if you have any questions, please shoot us an email, but if not, good luck with your proposal.